So, how much should you charge recruiting clients? Is my question. And it's a difficult one because you don't want to charge too low, not because you don't want to make any money, but you don't want to be seen as an amateur. Again, you don't want to charge too high because what then happens is you quote 25% on a direct hire, and they say to you, well, we've got agencies we're working with on 15%, and you say, okay, we'll do it for 15%, ha ha ha. But what that's done is you've got a slave master relationship already. Now they can say anything to you. So either way, you can't win. Now, what is quite clear and a very, very good guideline to use on how much you should charge recruiting clients is industry average, trial and error, and also starting off low is better than starting off high. Yeah. A good metric to do is anything above 60,000, 40,000, those kind of ranges, it depends on the sector. You want to be charging 15%. Yeah, anything above 80, 120, you might be able to push a 20%. Now, it does come out of necessity, it does come out of a skills gap. A developer on, I don't know, a junior developer on 40K might still be able, you might still be able to get away with 20%. Yeah, it's very industry specific. However, you can't go wrong with going in your first agency at 10%. Yeah. And there'll be people on LinkedIn screaming right now saying, oh, I don't get out of bed for 10%. Well, I'm here to tell you they don't make any money and they're just sitting on LinkedIn typing away. Now, the reason you start off at 10% is because you need to work out what your market pays agencies, because it is a market. It's a set price that most people will go between. Let's say healthcare is between 8% and 17% on average. Yeah, it's a big average, but that's roughly what it is. Most of it's made up of 15 to 12%. Yeah. If you go in your first bunch of clients at 10% and no one bats an eyelid, they say, great, 10% sounds fantastic. That's how much we pay all our agencies, wink, wink. Yeah. You're the cheapest, but if you can be the best, they will only use you. Yeah. Number two on that is if you start to say for your next 10 clients, because we've already got a bunch of clients now, we're going to say 12%. And again, if you get no pushback, 12%, that sounds fantastic, Mr. Recruiter. That's what we pay all our agencies, wink, wink. Then you can move up to 15%. You might get some negotiation at that point, and now you've found the area where you should be charging. Yeah. Now, if you're scared at 10%, do this. Say to the client, or on your terms of business or through an email, our first placement is an introductory offer, and I've used this for about 8-10 years. Introductory offer at 10%. Any placement after that is 15%. Why that works so well is you don't drop your pants and you don't go too high. The most they're going to go negotiate is, oh, we can do 12% every placement. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that means you're going to give me more jobs. I'm happy with that. That's fine. If I can place you, if we get to the 10%, that means you're a good client. I've placed with you and my candidate stuck around. I haven't got to give you a rebate. That's all you want as a good agency. You want good clients. You don't care about the fee. Yeah. People will brag about having, oh, I've got clients on 25%. Oh, what's your turnover? Look at this other client we got on 20%. What's your revenue this month? But we got good terms signed. Terms signed don't pay the bills. Cash flow. We need money. So don't overlook and don't get too bogged down on fees. How much you should charge. 10%. Be safe. Move on after that. Move up as you go. Nobody can break into a market without being the cheapest. You can either be the best, and someone starting an agency is not going to compete with someone like me on my computer, massive database on there of candidates in every region, every skill set. You aren't going to compete with the big boys that own job boards, yeah, that have 150 staff working for them. You ain't going to compete with that. You'll either be the best or the cheapest when you start off. Yeah, you ain't going to compete with Amazon being more expensive. Well, you might, but it's very, very unlikely. So don't get bogged down on that fees. I hope this advice has given you, something to think about. But don't get too bogged down on fees. Get the clients, make the placements, and worry about the fees later on. I love you all and take care.